What is up, chocolatiers? Got another video for you guys today reviewing Tulsa King Season 2. And I know you probably clicked because of the title. This is definitely like the... I don't even know how to put it. Like, it's got to be the fastest but most slowest show ever. And what I mean by that is like so much shit will happen, but then when you get to like the finale, you're kind of like, but did really anything happen? And that's kind of like the trend for these two seasons. Now, this isn't me hating on the show. I do still enjoy it. I think that Sylvester Stallone does a great fucking job, right? But, you know, it's got its problems for sure. So, Tulsa King Season 2. Fucking Sylvester Stallone, he moves to Tulsa because he's like part of like this, you know, mob or whatever in New York, and they make him move over there and shit or whatever. And so he does that, okay? He comes over and, you know, they put him there and pretty much just kind of like, not as like a failure, but kind of like to fuck him over in a way. Because there's nothing in Tulsa, he can't do shit. And he's like, I'm gonna prove them motherfuckers. And so that's what he does, okay? And so, you know, Sylvester Stallone doing his shit, you know, he's Billy Badass, he's got these weed shops he's taking over, he's got a bar now that he owns, and now he's starting to get into other industries in this season that you'll see. And, you know, the way he meets people, the way he does his business, I really have always liked in his show. You know, he'll take over your shit, but he's not like an asshole about it. It's almost like, I'm taking your shit, and you're like, damn, really? But it's Sylvester Stallone, so you're kind of like, alright, you know, cool. But any other person, you'd be fucking mad, right? And so what I mean by this show is like so fast paced is that it's actually, and I know this is going to sound like a roast, but it's not, I promise you. Or not a full roast. This show reminds me so much of CW's Flash. Now, I know you're probably wondering, what the fuck does this show remind you of Flash about? I'm getting there, okay? So, The Flash, as any of you know if you've seen it, basically, let's just like pick a random season. I don't even remember what season number it is. But one season, Barry goes back in time, and actually it might have been 1 or 2, I can't remember. It was pretty early. And he pretty much goes, I'm going to save my mother who got killed by Reverse Flash. That's his villain he goes after. And he does that, changes the whole timeline. You're like, oh, fuck. Shit's gonna change. Shit's gonna be crazy. And then episode 1, they go, we've solved it. And you're like, oh. Thought the whole season was going to be... No. Back to him fighting people and not being fast enough, even though he's the fastest man alive, and he tells you that every single episode. And so, that's kind of like what this show reminded me of. So, like, the season 1 cliffhanger was just so crazy, so abrupt. And that's probably a problem I have with this finale, too, is that these finales are so abrupt. Like, it doesn't really set up to anything. It's just a bunch of random shit happening. And it seems like a random episode, and then it just ends in the craziest way ever. Just randomly, once again, no build-up. And then you're like, oh, fuck, next season. Okay. And so, the woman that he was sleeping with is, I think she was an FBI agent or police, can't remember exactly what jurisdiction she was, but she ends up going, I have to do the right thing. She's like, I love your old man cock, but I have to do it. And he's like, no, baby, you don't have to do that shit. And she does it. And so she arrests his ass, and it's like a big thing, and I kind of forgot about that. And then, you know, getting hyped for season 2, you know, for whatever weird reason, by the way, Paramount does this. This is a complaint on Paramount. They love showing the, like, for example, like Spec Ops Linus, right? Every ad I've seen for that show is just clips from season 1. I was like, is there a trailer for, like, what the fuck is even going on with season 2? Like, what's it about? They're showing you clips from season 1. They're like, season 2's coming out. Okay, what the fuck is it about? And so with this show, they kept showing you clips from season 1, so it was a bunch of highlight reels reminding me of what the fuck happened. I was like, okay, that's right. I fucking love this show. And so I was like, bet, we're going to get some court stuff. We're going to get him trying to get out of jail, whatever, this and that. No, like episode 1, that's kind of resolved in like 30 minutes, maybe less. And I was like, oh, okay. And so, you know, the main plot of this season, I guess you would say, is that you have actually somebody from the DC Cinematic Universe on the TV side. What is his name? He plays that villain and everything, the blonde dude. You know who I'm talking about. He is new in the town, but not really new. He's been there. He just wasn't there in season 1. He's like just this rich asshole, whatever. I don't even know what the fuck he owns. Just whatever. He's rich. And then you've got my boy Crossbones showing up, and he's kind of like on the fence. He's kind of like a Sylvester Stallone character, but just kind of like more of like on the younger side, and he owns his own shit. And so it's kind of like them 3 butting heads with Sylvester Stallone because he's trying to move in on their shit. Rightfully so, they should be mad, but, Sylvester Stallone's show, he is Dwight Manfredi, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants to, and I will let him too. And so that's pretty much the plot, is that you've got these rival forces doing whatever. Kind of simplistic, right? But the acting is very good, as usual, and pretty much overall, like I said, I did enjoy this show. There's definitely a lot of twists and turns, a lot of cool stuff that you see. Like his driver, I really love him, Tyson. And stuff happens with Tyson's father that's really cool, really impactful, really builds on that character a lot. There's some new characters introduced. One guy named Bigfoot, and he is so fucking hilarious every time he shows up on screen. His name is exactly why he's hilarious. And like I said, you got small things like that pretty much carry on the show, make it really good. That's why it's not bad. It's just that I do have nitpicks that I hope gets resolved in season 3. And so going forward with this review, I'm kind of getting to my nitpicks. So just know overall I did like the show, but now I'm kind of critiquing it because, there's a lot of things I was like, what the fuck? So there's like a lot of episodes, and this is what I meant by the title, where you have like an episode where nothing's happening. Nothing's fucking happening. Like, nothing whatsoever. Boom! Somebody fucking gets shot. You're like, what the fuck? And then, like, just randomly. It's like, what the fuck? It's like 30 minutes of nothing happening for, like, a 5-minute scene that happens that's impactful to the rest of the season. You're like, okay. And I'm not saying every single scene has to be impactful. Like, for example, I love a lot of the weed shop stuff that Sylvester Stallone's character does, like, where he's joking around, like, fucking around. Like, I love that stuff, like, where he's doing that. But there's so many scenes, like, for example, like Jelly Roll. He fucking shows up in an episode, and then I start reminding myself, oh, yeah, that's right, this is a Taylor Sheridan show. I love him so much. White Tyler Perry, right? But it's just so many things like that where you're like, okay, this 5 second, or not 5 second, more like a 5 to 10 minute scene of Jelly Roll singing, it's like, okay, that's cool. I do like this fuck around stuff, like kind of like Yellowstone. Like, big complaint of this season so far of that is that people are like, well, they fucking around this thing. And I love the cowboy shit. I love it when they fuck around, right? And in this show, I do too. But like, it got to the point where like, outside of one major person dying, everything else that happened kind of gets overturned. And now I want to kind of get into a brief light spoiler, which is not going to be that many spoilers because I can't remember the fucking character's name. But the really annoying guy with like the mustache that works at the ranch that Dwight's woman works at, he has a whole situation where his wife and children are leaving him. He's getting really stressed. And he basically just steals all of Dwight's money. And so, Dwight has killed people for less in this show. Literally in episode, I think 1 or 2, Crossbones' ass, I can't remember his name either, so I keep calling Crossbones. Crossbones has a second in command guy come there to talk to Dwight, and they just fucking shoot him in the face. They're like, fuck you. And so, kind of crazy that this guy doesn't get killed. He kind of gives them the money, he apologizes, and then they're like, okay. It's like, I'm not saying he should have died, but like, every time characters do something. Every time. It's like 1 to 2 episodes where like they're like, damn, you really fucked up. Or maybe just less than 1. And then it's kind of, okay. And it just seems so weird. Like, it seems like even though the show's going forward, it's going backwards. And like I said, this is an awful complaint. That's why I said I'm just counting it a little nitpick. This ain't a bad show. It's just so weird to me. And maybe if you feel like me, you know what I'm saying. I can't get it out in the good words clearly. But it just feels like there's so many fucking scenes that could be cut. So many episodes where like nothing happens. Like they set up this Asian guy to be like the next big like threat in the show. It's like, okay, as soon as he's a threat, they handle it. They fucking handle it. I'm sorry, that was spoiled. But like they fucking handle it. And like it's badass, it's cool, but it's like this dude's an actual threat. Set him up to be like next season's villain or like this thing. That would be like in Sons of Anarchy, right? That would be like literally if they introduced you. I'm blanking on that show. I hate I use that as an example too. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I'm blanking on any villain they had in that fucking show. Okay, that's like having the Mayans show up in that show. Let's say they have an episode where they introduced them, right? And like they fucking beat the shit out of Jax's mama, which just didn't happen. I'm making up shit. But let's say that happened. And let's say the very next episode they're like, we killed them all. Like, it's like, you're happy. That's what you probably would do that in real life. But as a TV show, it's like, you kind of want that build-up. Like, it's like, they built up to this Asian guy being just big bad. For the most part, we didn't even know he was a big bad until he fucking killed somebody finally in his second episode or third episode he showed up in. And then all of a sudden, Dwight and them go, fuck, that's the guy? And they're like, yeah, that's the guy. Fucking same episode. I think they kill him. I don't even think it's the next episode. Same episode. They're like, oh, he's dead. And then the finale isn't even really a finale. It's more like an epilogue. I was like, oh, the season's done. When I realized there was another episode the week after, I was like, oh, it's fucking over. And then it just ends on a cliffhanger. Like I said, didn't see that coming. I don't see none of these fucking cliffhangers coming. They're just hanging out, chilling around. They're fucking around. The whole episode is them fucking around. Nothing is happening. They're just fucking around. Actually, I'll tell you that. One impactful thing happens. Some guy in New York shows up. Something impactful happens. I'm not going to tell you which one it was. But that was kind of crazy. But then it just kind of ends. They're like, oh, yep, it's over. And this show is so weird for me because I can't be mad. Even though I just bitched just then, I can't be mad. Sylvester Stallone carries this show on his fucking back. I really feel like if you had any other actor playing this, I feel like this would be like a 6 out of 10 show. But I'm going to give this show a fucking 8 out of 10. It's still solid, even with those complaints. And really, even though it sounds like I talked a long time about those complaints, it's really just one complaint. And it's the fact that there's so many episodes where nothing happens, but then something happens. But like the thing that happens is just so quick. But then all the other stuff is just so long. Oh my God, I put it into good words. Like the whole episode, let's say it's a 40-minute episode. There's only like 5 minutes worth of content where you're like, okay, we're doing something with the plot. Because really and truly, if you condense this whole season to just scenes that mattered, scenes that had character development, and not scenes where they were fucking around and Jelly Roll showing up and stuff like that, you could have cut probably 2.5 episodes out of this fucking season. But with that, I'm biased. This show's fucking great. 8 out of 10. Miss Chalk Silver approval. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the Taylor Sheridan universe. That's what I'm calling it. I feel like he is genuinely the white savior. Because Tyler Perry, if you're black watching this video, you know what I mean. He let the black community down. He did. He's making Medea's this and that bangers. Fucking Why Did I Get Married fucking banger, right? He did that one, yeah. I don't even know. The shows, like, fuck, House of Pain. I can't think of anything now, I'm sorry. Like House of Pain. Just fucking bangers. And then he was like, Oprah deal. And he's like, Netflix deal. Brought Medea back, awful fucking movie. And I know he was going down that route, like Boo 1 and 2 aren't that great. And that was when he started fucking around. Like, that's when, like, I remember when Boo 2 ended. I remember, no, dead ass. It's either Boo 1 or 2, I promise you. In the fucking credits, it said, he had an interview. And he's like, yeah, this is like day 5 of shooting. He said, we're actually finishing the movie. I said, 5 days. I'm not saying a movie should take you fucking years or months. I'm not telling you what to do. And a movie like that probably does take you a little bit of time. But 5 days made me sit there and think, okay, that's not even a full week, my guy. And you're done? This let me know there's probably like little to no cuts in this movie. And that's my Tyler Perry rant. He fucked over the black community. Now he's doing deals. Now he's got like stripper shows where like he's using the same actors. And they're still not good. They really need acting coaches, Jesus Christ. And so Taylor Sheridan is kind of doing that, where he's just making shit. He's making every now and then he'll make a movie that's a banger, except for that one movie with Angelina Jolie. We don't talk about that one here. That's the only movie he's made that's bad. Actually, the only thing he's made is bad. And he does Yellowstone, he does this, he does Mayor Kingstown, like all these bangers. And Taylor Sheridan, if you're watching this video, please do not turn to Tyler Perry. Don't fucking sell out. Keep doing you, man. Do the MTV shits, do whatever, like Paramount, do that, and let them come to you. You do you, son. Please do not go the Tyler Perry route. I'm fucking begging you. And with that, please like, subscribe for more, and comment down below and let me know your thoughts on this show and the Taylor Sheridan other shows, because Yellowstone just came back on. Let me know if you're liking that, by the way. I really want to know. And with that, please like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Things don't really belong to people.
I love my popcorn. Movies, popcorn.